Feather Intuitive. Welcome to another Demystify the Divine weekly readings and tools to connect. Hoping you guys are doing really, really well. Hoping you're having a great week out there, that you are surviving and thriving during this Pisces full moon energy. We are kind of coming out of it now and sort of moving into a different phase. I know for me, it has been hella intense, and I am so grateful that it is transitioning into something else. And, you know, that's just the way of it. That's the way of things. We got to take the good with the bad. And I'm grateful to be moving on. So for those of you who are just tuning in to this for the first time, you're in for a really cool show. We jam pack it with all sorts of stuff. We have our, I've got my cheat sheet, because as soon as I get into this mode, I can't concentrate on the details. I do.
Who you telling?
What's that, Keone?
Who you telling?
Exactly. Poor Keone has to follow me. And he's like, what? What's happening? What are you talking about? So we're going to channel a word of the week. I'm going to do a supportive archangel channeling. We never know who's going to pop in and what message they're going to impart on all of us, but we're all looking forward to that. Then we do our card pull, where I pull a tarot card and an oracle card and give us a general message for the week. Then we do our grab your decks portion, which is really a lot of fun. I channel a couple of questions that we can ask to pull our own cards. So you get to grab your own deck, and I walk you through and guide you through how to take the general message and apply it to your personal life, doing a little bit of that individual stuff. And then we do some Q&A. So really looking forward to diving into the energies today. Couple of things. If you like what you see here, feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell on my YouTube. Also, if you are so inclined, please share this. One of my big missions and purposes in life is to make sure that I am available to anyone who feels called to work with me. And this is the best way to do it. Thank goodness for all of our social media. We can use it for good. So if you are so inclined, would love for you to share this with anyone that you feel could really benefit from the guidance. And otherwise, really happy to have you here. Thanks to all who are returning. Thanks to the loyal supporters. Really, really excited to have you here tonight. And thank you to all of the newbies as well. You're so welcome to come in and join us. So Keone, I'm going to go into my happy place and see what our word, or sometimes it's a phrase of the week, is.
There's no bars on this show.
You're right. Maybe we need, I need to do that. Maybe next week we can make it a like wine a wine and wisdom. Yeah, we can make a wine and wisdom Wednesday. We do that from time to time. We used to do that with Winged Wednesday. I would just change it to Wine Wednesday. So yeah, next week bring your wine bottles.
Okay, I won't call out that day.
All right. Okay, sounds good. All right. Peace and prosperity are yours for the taking, but you must be willing to receive. So what I'm feeling into this week with this message is that they're not really giving us specific details about what to expect and sort of in the energetics. They are giving us really direct information about how we can improve our lives on an individual basis. And I'm always saying this, I feel like a broken record, but we are all one, we're all connected. So when we put ourselves first, when we do something that helps us to connect with ourselves, we are helping the collective. So when they're coming through with peace and prosperity are yours, but you have to be willing to receive, it means very clearly, look at where your self-care regimen is. Self-care for people like you and I who are watching this video, anyone who's connected and drawn to this, I want to say this energetic messaging that, you know, that is out there, and you're recognizing that, you know, there's a lot more going on in the world than meets the eye. You need different things to support yourself. you are more sensitive. You are more aware of what's going on in the world. You understand that there are things beyond the illusion of what we can see with our own two eyes. And that means that you might need to dive in a little bit extra with your self-care and put yourself first, because it's not a selfish act. It is actually an act of love, because when you're doing that for yourself, you're going to make an effect for others. When we are talking about peace and prosperity, it's there for us to take. It's a clear message that we need to really keep ourselves in a place of highest frequency that we can achieve. This is a challenge. Let's face it, folks, this is a challenge. In the energies that we've been in all of the things that are going on in the world around us, it is a challenge. It's sometimes easier to be able to, get on that slippery slope and go down into that heavy third dimensional energy of fatalism and feudalism and, what's the point of all of it? And I can't make changes, and this is all so horrible, and none of this feels good. When is it going to end? Sure. I mean, there's enough stuff going on that we could do that. So the challenge this week is, listen, peace in your heart, prosperity, manifesting. It's all around you, but you need to be able to receive. And a lot of you who are watching this, you're empaths, and empaths by nature have a very difficult time accepting help, accepting praise or gifts or energy from other people, right? They're more than happy to give. They're more than happy to show up and make sure that everyone else in the room is taken care of, and don't worry about me. Well, this is not the time for that. This week, the challenge is learning how to receive. And you can receive by really tuning in to where that core piece is. Where is it in your body? Or if you're not feeling it in your body, but you're noticing out and about in the world what you visualize as peace, or a concept of peace that you really want to bring into your life and into your world, step into that space and allow yourself to receive it. Allow yourself to wear it like a coat for a little while, so that you can adjust your vibration and frequency to being able to creating more of that. And same with the prosperity. I feel very much like you want to be considering this week how you can do, let's say you're down and out. Let's say money is tight right now. Let's say things are just kind of in limbo and you're feeling a bit uncomfortable. Find ways to feel prosperous, to feel luxurious, to feel like you've got $1 million in the bank and you don't have to think twice about anything. Find little ways to do that. And that's the challenge. I follow Lee Harris. I love Lee Harris energy, and he does his energy updates, and he's just fascinating and fabulous. And he mentioned, I think it was a couple of weeks back, he shared a story of a time when he really didn't have a whole lot of money. And he wasn't down and out, but he was living sort of paycheck to paycheck. And he was in a process of manifesting. And what he decided to do was go to this really fancy hotel where all the rich people stayed. And he would, set aside, I think he said it was 12 pounds or something, for a cup of tea, or 4 pounds for a cup of tea. And he would go and he would sit there for a few hours and just immerse himself in that energy, the energy of, well, this is how the rich people live, and this is what they feel, and this is being in the energy of abundance rather than lack and scarcity. So I share this story that is not my story to share, but I'm offering it to you, that this is the challenge that our dream teams are coming through for us with this week, is if you are not feeling prosperous, find little ways to be prosperous and get creative with all of it. Because if you cannot receive, you cannot elevate. If you cannot receive, you cannot raise your frequency and vibration. And if you can't elevate, you can't manifest in the way that you really want to manifest. You're not going to be able to create what it is that you're seeking, because you're coming from that space of lack. So the key this week is really about self-care and understanding, for those of you who have guilt around putting yourself first, you're actually helping the collective more than you're hurting the collective And in some cases, you're helping the collective even more than you would if you were doing other sort of direct intentional things for them by being in your own space and putting yourself first and including your self-care in what you are providing to others. So peace and prosperity can be found. It can be found within, it can be found without. You have to be open to receiving. So the clear message, even though our theme of the week here, our phrase of the week is peace and prosperity, and it's a big long thing that came out. The real message is, what am I doing to be able to receive source energy? And some of you are going to have trouble receiving it because there's value and worth stuff going on. And if you're a person who's like, bring it on, I'm so ready for it and I am worthy of it, awesome. Do more of that and find more ways to, I want to say that, bring that into, I want to say into the forefront. Do more of that this week. All right. So what time is it, Keone? Awesome. Time for card pulling. So today we are pulling cards from the Elemental Wisdom Tarot from Taroteka. And I got this deck a few months ago now. I suck at time, so a few months ago could have been almost a year ago. But I remember buying it for myself because I love to support independent deck creators. And I was really looking for something that had beautiful imagery. And so let's see what the, oh, we got two cards. Let's see what the, oh, and this is interesting. Here's the message for us. Justice. So the first card we pulled is justice. It is what it is. Fairness, balance. Also, I can't help but comment on the fact that we are in Virgo season right now, and we are preparing in the next couple of weeks to move into Libra season. And this is the Libran card. Very Libran energy. Justice is swords. So it's the realm of the mind, mental energy, receiving intuition and processing it on an intellectual level. And so I'm feeling like in relation to the message that we have here. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to do the archangel channeling. So we'll do that in a second. The message that we have here, especially when we're talking about peace and prosperity, it's understanding that in order for me to have balance and harmony in my life, I have to come to a certain level of acceptance of what is in my space. This isn't about I'm going to be able to hold back or change or shift anything necessarily that is external. But I can really go within and accept that, this is the energy I'm dealing with. This is what it is. And I need to work with what is in this moment. So justice is coming through this week. I feel to give each of us the opportunity to really connect on that intuitive level, no matter what it is that we are facing, no matter what it is that we are in the middle of or in the throes of, and giving us the opportunity to say, you know what, it is what it is. So taking an extra 5 minutes to just kind of tune in and maybe see what the heart wants. Is this the direction that the heart wants? Is this a way for me to bring more heart into this? Before I go ahead and make a big choice or make a big commitment, I really want to involve the heart space because, we talk about Lady Justice being blind. She's all about, we talk about the law, either you broke the law or you didn't. It's very black or white, but really it's not. We live in the gray areas, and there's a certain level of duality that we have on the planet at all times. So when we're talking about justice and justice is blind, we are moving into a particular period of time where we are shifting what justice really looks like. And justice isn't blind, justice is intuitive. And we live in a society right now where that's not honored. That's not considered as part of a factor in how justice is sort of doled out. And I'm not making a political statement here. I'm sort of talking in the general that this is kind of how we have been programmed. And so the invitation now is peace and prosperity is available to you, but you have to be willing to receive. So if justice is blind, well, it's blind for a reason. Put on your third eye. open up your third eye center and step into that, because surrendering to it is what it is allows you then to go into or access a different aspect or a different place of knowledge and wisdom for yourself that may get you over the hump, that may give you a different solution, a better solution, and won't I want to say won't encourage you to slide into a space of I'm not worthy, or slide into a space of despair. It doesn't matter what I do, nothing's going, or apathy. It doesn't matter what I do, nothing's going to work out anyway. So feeling that there's a lot of defeatist energy that I'm tapping into that's going to be coming up this week. And we don't have to be defeatist. We don't have to entertain that. This is an invitation to go into our intuition and really focus on intuition before we do anything else. The second card that came out with the Justice is 10 of Swords. So we have a lot of energy this week really connected to communication, legal matters. 10 of Swords, I like to call this the Phoenix burning card, or the Phoenix rising, depending on where we're at. It is a rebirth, the Phoenix emerging. It's basically saying I've come to the end of a particular chapter or a particular way that I'm choosing to identify with myself. And my thoughts are no longer in alignment with the person that I'm choosing to become. Yes, the card is graphic, but it's not what it appears to be necessarily. It's more like sometimes we have to recognize that our thoughts are hindering us, that they're hurting us, and they're stopping us from being able to spread our wings and fly. So 10 of Swords is an invitation to rebirth. It's saying I'm going to let this version of myself go by the wayside, and I'm going to embrace myself in this new version. But I have to do it by being intuitive. I have to recognize that my thoughts can become things, but that I need to bring some balance to my thoughts. Just like Justice, the Justice is blind, but it's all about an invitation to the intuition. 10 of Swords is saying if you're being rebirthed and you can do it all fresh and do it all over again, don't forget to include all these thoughts in that shifting process. Thoughts become things. We feel into our thoughts. So this is a huge invitation to say, I really need to pay attention to where my brain is at. Where's my mind going right now? Where's it running? Yeah, in the collective, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm fearful. I'm nervous. I don't know what's going to happen. As soon as you're doing that, it's not bad to acknowledge fear, but then you want to stare fear in the face and you want to say, and I'm going to turn that frown upside down. I'm going to shift the perspective on this because energetically, it helps me. It doesn't hinder me. It helps me. We're going to pull an oracle card, and this is from Nari Anastasia's Cosmic Reading Cards deck. And let's see.
Yeah, that's not a mouthful.
I know. I always want to say Anastasia, Nari Anastasia. At least that would make sense. But Anastasia, that's her name. Or Anastasia. It might be Anastasia. I don't know. Hopefully I'm not messing around with her name. All right. We've got Believe. And check out the colors in this card. The color that I am drawn to the most right now is the beautiful spring green. And let me tell you why. When we are talking about the rebirth, the 10 of Swords, and the Justice, it is what it is. And so from this point forward, I'm going to step into, the energy that I need to. The spring green implies newness, new beginnings, a fresh start. When we think about the spring energy, it's all of those little seedlings that are working hard to burst through the earth and reach for the sun. And this is our invitation. It's saying the sun is always going to rise. Believe that to be true, and you too will rise with the sun every single day. There is something new that you can step into no matter what is going on around you. I'm also hearing that those of you who are struggling to find work, or you're struggling in your work, and this is not people who are really thriving and successful in their jobs. This feels like people who are, doing what they're doing to get by. They're miserable in what they're doing, but they're working to try and get something new. but nothing has shown up yet. This card is coming through specifically for you guys to say, hey, don't lose hope. Believe in the things that you can count on. The sun rising in the sky every morning is something that you can count on. So believe it. Step into this beautiful green, spring green energy, and understand that right now in this moment, it is what it is, and I can rewrite my story. I can rethink the thoughts that I'm having. I can shift my energy into a forward direction because I believe in my ability to make changes and to make things happen. I believe that the universe has my front, back, sides, bottom, and top. I believe that I am a spark of the divine. And if I am a spark of the divine, it means I am divine, which means I can have whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. I need to step into that frequency in order to be able to access it. So this is the strong message that is coming up this week. So have hope. Those of you who are struggling with work, have hope. Step into a space of believing. I'm also hearing that even if you're not particularly artistic, this would be a good week to, I want to say, pull out some colored pencils or markers, or maybe just, sketch pad and doing some doodling and drawing. I don't know why I'm hearing this specifically, but I feel like it's a message for everyone. It's less about creativity and more about unlocking the flow of blockages. And I feel like it's connected to the swords. It's connected to the thoughts, the mental energy, and it's connected to the way we're choosing to communicate with one another. And you want to realize, anyone who's watching this, it's very likely that a lot of the humans that you deal with on a regular basis are not as aware, self-aware, or aware of what is going on sort of behind the scenes. And you have that awareness. So, with this kind of knowledge comes responsibility with that, and understanding I don't necessarily need to take the way you're communicating with me personally. I recognize, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I don't have to take abuse, but I also don't have to take it super personally, what you're saying to me and how you're saying it to me. I can correct you and I can move on. Leaving it in the past, moving forward, right? Rebirth. I believe in the newness of things. I believe that energy is out there and it's there for me to utilize, to access, to focus, to apply to my life. So really feeling like it's less about creativity and more about moving energy, moving stuck energy. It's as simple as that, moving stuck energy. And that's a challenge for all of us. That's not a challenge just for those who are feeling stuck at work. This is a challenge for all of us because for whatever reason, and it doesn't matter, you're not creating it for, to create something. You're creating it to get the movement going and the flow going. So, and there's something significant about pen to paper. And I don't know exactly why, but that's just what's coming through. So pen to paper, colored pencil to paper, marker to paper, doodling for the sake of doodling and no other reason. And just notice what you notice. Notice what you release. Notice how you feel. If you feel anything while you're doodling or while you're coloring or whatever you're, sort of moving into. Notice what you're releasing. Notice what leaves the body during that time. So I messed up and I forgot to channel the arc. So I'm going to do that.
No, I was going to tell you, but never mind.
Yeah, I totally just dropped the ball on that.
When you say, I was waiting for you to say, what time is it? I was going to tell you, well, you want to back that thing up and do your panel.
Gonna back the thing up. I haven't heard that song in ages. I would love
okay. You're going to play it the night before you go to sleep.
Yes, I am. That makes me laugh. It actually brings some positive memories about a couple of friends that I have been out of touch with for years. So thank you for that. That's good. All right, I'm going into my channeled happy place here. Greetings, dear ones. I am Archangel Chamuel, representing the Archangelic Collective, and am honored to be connecting with all of you this day. You have all had some difficult emotional impasses. This has been going on for the last month or so. It is important that you understand that this is all occurring because there is a great heart expansion that is happening collectively. And people who are aware of different energies and frequencies are at the starting line of this heart expansion. This means that you feel it first before the bulk of the collective feels it. You are not guinea pigs, as they say. Rather, you are trailblazers, opening up to the frequencies through the heart space, receiving into the heart space, so that you can contribute to those who struggle to do the same thing for themselves. There is such a loving, peaceful energy that can be experienced when you connect directly with your hearts. The human heart has such capacity to expand and grow, and yet many are oblivious to or ignorant of this fact. And yet you are now at a time where this is becoming more and more available, and that many of you will advance quickly from the initial stages of the feelings of expansion into full expansion and explanation on an energetic level. The ascension that you all speak of on the planet at this time can all be accessed within. Many of you still see it as something to attain from outside of yourselves. And it is completely okay for you to seek guidance, seek support, and learn from others techniques to be able to apply this to yourselves. But we wish to remind you that if you go within and you ask directly questions of your soul and ask directly questions to your heart, you will be amazed at what you receive. For it is all within you. We are so grateful to have had the opportunity to share this guidance and wisdom with you. We offer our support and our frequency to all who connect and desire this support. You are not alone. All right, Keone, what time is it? Grab your necks. All right, so I'm still kind of in my channeled space. I'm going to channel 2 questions. So Keone is going to steal the show for a minute while I jot down these questions, and I will be right back.
Steal. All right, how's everybody? Great. Thank you for being here. I am back from Stacy couldn't figure out where I was last week, but I was in South Dakota. But we're here and ready to rock and roll. If you would like a card pull, please come on live. If you want to come on live, there is a link in the chat. I'm going to place that in there again, and you can come on live. If you want to come on live, but you don't want to turn your camera on, that is fine as well. We'll do who's ever on live first, and then we will go to the chat. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and put your card that you pulled or that you want a card pull in the chat. Stacy will either feed you what she feels from the card that you pulled, or she'll pull a card for you. On YouTube, do the same thing. Go ahead and put in the chat what card you pull if you have your own deck, or state that you would like a card pulled, and Stacy will pull it for you. Make sure you're commenting, make sure you like, and also make sure you're subscribed to the Black Feather Intuitive, even if you only join us here on Demystify the Divine every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on the Black Feather Intuitive YouTube page and the Black Feather Intuitive Facebook page. I already see down in the back, we've got Ragu backstage. Awesome. Anybody else, just click that link and you can come on live. I've seen the card requests in the chat. We will go to them in order and try to get as many of them in as possible. And we do have quite a bit. Those of you on Facebook, you can't see the YouTube requests. And those of you on YouTube, you can't see the Facebook requests. So there's quite a bit. So if you want them, get them in the chat now so we can get to you. Okay? Stacy, are we ready?
We are ready to go.
I don't know who was here last week, but since Ragu's here, I'm guessing you had Indu last week.
I think we did, but I can't remember 100%. It might be backwards, but I'm happy to see either of them. So really excited to see you, Ragu. Let me just announce our questions for today. So the first question, the first card pull is, what energy helps me to step into full acceptance of what is in my now? What energy helps me to step into full acceptance of what is in my now? And the second card pull is, how can I open more fully to receiving? So really good questions to tap into. And let's bring Ragu on. Hey, Ragu, how are you? Oh, can't hear you.
Ragu, she can't hear you. Your audio's off.
Your audio, I think, is off.
Connect. You're not muted. It's just not connecting. So see if you can connect your mic, okay? I'll put you in the backspace and bring you back on. Check your mic setting, all right?
Nope.
I'll bring you back on in a second.
He's like, oh, man. Do we have any questions in the chat?
Yes, we do. Naya Jenkins said that she would love a card pull.
Awesome.
Nia or Naya, sorry.
Nia? Naya? Nia? I think it's Nia. That's what my spidey's are telling me. Nia, thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to pull from the Elemental Wisdom Tarot deck for you. So we're going to do what energy helps you to step fully into acceptance of what is in your now. And then the second card is, how can you open more fully to receiving? So the first card, the energy that helps you step into your full acceptance. Wow, you got Queen of Swords. So lots of swords going on today. We have the Justice, we have the 10 of Swords, and now you've got Queen of Swords. So what energy is going to help you to step into full acceptance of what is in your now? You want to be boundaried. You want to really understand that you are on this path of mastery around your mental energy, because it is all energy. And queens put structure around what they are in charge of. Whatever their sovereign sort of space is, they put structure, they put delegation and organization around it. So for you this week, when you're stepping into full acceptance of what is in your now, it's understanding, I don't have to be betrayed by my own feelings and emotions. I don't have to be, taken over in a wave of emotion. I can be clear and level-headed about it. It doesn't mean that I'm not connecting to my heart space about anything and trying to logicize, what's going on in my brain. That's a Stacy word. What it means is I am taking charge of my energy from a protective space. So I know that my energy is important and I need all of that energy all of the time right now, because there's a lot of stuff that you're dealing with. And I feel like you're dealing with a lot of stuff right now. You got several kind of irons in the fire, or, juggling several different balls in the air. So your time is precious. Your energy is precious. So you want to make sure that you are protecting your energy. And sometimes that can be very, I want to say, out with it and very obvious. That you're saying, okay, physically, I'm going to choose not to go and hang out with this person or that person. And other times it's about the energetics, understanding, going out into a big crowd today doesn't feel right. Or maybe it's, I need my people, or I need to go out and be with people in order to not allow my own monkey mind to sort of take over my energy, hijack my energy. So Queen of Swords invites you to understand it's okay for you to put some structure around how you're feeling about things, so that you're not feeling drained, you're not losing sight of your own goals. And I want to say, the believe card, that you are able to believe in what it is that you are receiving intuitively and being able to apply that moving forward. Your second card is, how can I open more fully to receiving? Oh my God, you got the Emperor. We have some really big cards that are coming through tonight. So the Emperor is also sovereignty. This is birthright. This is the divine masculine card. And I want to say, it's not asking for permission. It's simply stepping in and saying, okay, how can I open more fully to receiving? I deserve what I'm receiving. I deserve it. And I'm going to take it, and, I'll have seconds. Thank you so much. There's, I want to say, a level of confidence that comes into the mix here when we're talking about this, as well as, I don't want to say entitlement, but there is a certain level of, why wouldn't I deserve that? Why wouldn't I receive that? Why wouldn't I say yes to an offering that someone's giving me? Because I'm worthy of it, because it's my birthright, because everybody's going to do that for me anyway. So of course I'm going to receive it. There's that kind of energy. And I feel like you struggle with that a little bit. You can say it, and you say it to a lot of your friends. You say it to a lot of people. I want to say you are an empowerer, but when it comes to yourself, interesting. I said you're an empowerer, almost like the emperor, right? You are an empowerer, but when it comes to yourself, you have difficulty with receiving. So the Emperor is coming through to say, it's your birthright, take it. And there's a certain level of, I want to say, entitlement with it, that you are legitimately entitled to it. I'm not saying it in the way that we use it now, where, oh my God, you're entitled and that means it's a bad thing. No, you're entitled to this receiving. So receive it, and receive it with gratitude, and receive it with grace. Lots of divine masculine energy in your world right now. And I feel like that's, action oriented, but I hear that it needs to kind of be brought a little bit into balance. So maybe you're doing a little too much. Maybe it's time to be for a little bit. Just kind of cool your jets and receive. That's what it's all about. Cool your jets a bit and receive. Thank you so much for letting me pull a couple of cards for you. Very, very fun. I hope you enjoyed the message, and thanks for tuning in tonight. All right, Keaton.
We're gonna try Ragu again. If we can't hear him,
Can
he's
you
just
hear
gonna show
me?
his cards.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, first card I got is Unag. Easy, it says easy does it. And the blurb in the bottom says there is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing.
Oh, I love that message. So that's going to help you to step into full acceptance of what is in your now, is to be in your now, to not have to push through it. What's the first thing you notice when you look at the picture on the card?
The flying bird represents freedom.
Love it. Freedom. So where in your life right now, and you don't have to answer this because I know we're on the call, but it's something you want to think about. Where in your life are you not feeling free? Where in your life are you feeling trapped? Because that is the place where you're going to go to this full acceptance. Okay, I fully accept that I am feeling restricted. I'm feeling a bit trapped. And so now how can I accept that in my now so that I can shift it and move into freedom? So you want to give that some thought this week. That's going to be big for you this week. And I see that the coloring or the doodling exercise is going to be exceptional for you. And don't do it for a purpose. You're not drawing something specific. You're just drawn to get it all out and shift up the energy.
Okay,
Ooh,
thank you.
Stacy and Ragu, I'm feeling something.
What do
I
you
think
feel?
Ragu feels restricted when he wants more dessert and Indu says no.
What do you say to that, Ragu?
It's the other way around.
It's actually the other way around.
Oh, I was feeling something. I knew it had to do with.
Yeah, well, you were feeling it. You were feeling it. Oh my God, that's so funny. All right, what's your second card pull, Ragu?
Second card is Green Tara.
Fully to-
Start delegating.
Sorry, say that again.
Second card is Green Tara. Green Tara.
What does it say?
Start delegating. At the bottom it says ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself.
Well, I don't even need to interpret that. How can I open more fully to receiving? I need to ask for help and receive it, and receive it with grace and gratitude. That seems to be a theme as well. What's the thing that you notice first on the card?
Peace and serenity in her face.
You love the faces. You're a face guy. Tell you're a face guy. So the peace and serenity. So I'm going to ask the same kind of question. Where in your life are you feeling that peace and serenity eludes you? Because that's the place where you're going to want to go into that. I want to receive that peace. I want to receive that grace. I want to receive that energy. Open yourself up to that. And I'm hearing for you, it is connecting to the heart space directly as well. So in your meditation moments, set the intention that no matter what your routine is, what you're normally doing, that everything starts in the heart first. It can go elsewhere once you get going, but it needs to start in the heart, because the heart is where we receive as well as where we give.
Okay. As you said, I can't answer that question in the public call. I can't answer that question when my boss is sitting next to me.
Well, that's okay. We don't want you to get into any trouble with your boss. So it's one of those personal reflection moments. And I'm sure that just me asking that, a lot of other people are reflecting on that as well, and grateful that they're not being put on the spot. So I honor you, and I honor your relationship with your boss.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Keone.
You're
Bye,
welcome.
Ragu.
Thank you. Have a
We
great
give,
rest of your
we
night.
give Indu all the easy questions. All right. Our good and long-time listener since the first day we started doing this show is wanting a card pull for Try.
Try
Red.
Red. So great to see you. All right, I'm going to do 1 and 1 for you today, Try. We're going to do tarot for what energy helps you to step into full acceptance of what is in your now. And then the second card is how can you open more fully to receiving? Aha, that's the one. All right, so what energy helps you to step more into full acceptance of what is in your now? Oh, you got the Star card. It's like my favorite card. So this is a card of Aquarius, and in many ways it represents the giving and the receiving. But in this case, she's got these sort of 2 cups, and she's pouring one of the cups back into sort of the river of life and the river of awareness, the river of knowledge. And so I feel like for you, when we're talking about what helps you to step into full acceptance of what is in your now, it's really about when I'm opening to receiving. And I'm just going to talk about the second thing. When I'm opening to receiving, I'm also recognizing that there's something that I need to give back. Everything needs to be, I want to say, kind of a healthy give and take, a healthy reciprocity. The Star card also for me is all about vision. And so I want to say, where is your vision at this week? When you are stepping into that full acceptance of what is in your now, you want to be present in this moment now and say, what is in my now that is going to help me to realize the overarching vision that I have for my life, and help me to realize the true path and the true, I keep hearing the word mission for you. What is the true mission for you right now? And it's understanding that what I put in, I'm going to get out. And this isn't from a 3D perspective. Some of that is, old sort of patriarchal energy of, well, you got to put in the hard work in order to get the results. That's not what I mean by this. It's when I am putting energy in, I'm also going to receive energy back out. And I want to make sure that that energy that I'm receiving is quality, because I'm receiving it, right? So I want to make sure that it's quality. And when we're talking about how can I open more fully to receiving, you've got the let go card. So let go of control, let go of worrying about how it's going to come through, let go of around it needing to look a certain way or to feel a certain way. Instead, let go and just, I want to say, let flow. Be open to what comes through you. So this is a week for you where a lot is going to come through you. Understand and recognize yourself as a conduit for energy. And a lot of what you're going to be connecting with this week, I feel, is being able to offer to others a lot of words of wisdom that will also be applicable to your own life. This happens to me quite often, actually, considering what I do. I am tuning in for people all day long, right? All day, every day. I'm in session. I'm doing stuff. How many times has it been where I'm passing on messages and information to a client and I'm going, ding, 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 this is also a message for me at the same time. And it's going through me. So I'm processing it in a physical way at the same time that I am expressing it out. This too is you, but you've got to let go of the preconceived ideas and notions of how it's going to come through, and let go and let flow. That's what I'm feeling. And it's interesting that you got the let go card and the star card. We've got sort of the bright, she's highlighted in the foreground, and the background is not so highlighted, and it's the reverse. Sorry, I'm trying to do, what am I doing here? Okay. Reverse in my camera, I'm like, what? And then this is the reverse, where the foreground is in shadow and the moon is sort of, highlighting or giving the illusion of what is to come. I feel like this is sort of the front and the back of the vision, the front and the back of your vision that you are creating. So I don't know why I'm getting that, but I feel like this week, you're also going to be addressing the issue of wholeness, stepping into a space of wholeness. And in order to do that, it's really connecting to that vision and understanding what I'm giving, I can also receive. What I am receiving, I will also be giving, because I am the conduit. And one is, I want to say, equal to the other. There is no division for you this week. There is no differentiation for you this week. One is equal to the other. Interesting message. Thanks so much for letting me pull a card. So great to see you again. Who is next?
Karen S. from YouTube said, would adore a card pull tonight. Thank you so much.
All right. It's card pull night tonight. Everybody's looking for card pulls. So, all right. So Karen, I'm also going to do I'm feeling a one of each. So we're doing what energy helps you to step into full acceptance of what is in your now. And how can you open more fully to receiving? All right. Stepping fully into your acceptance. Three of Coins, collaboration. So for you this week, I feel like it's reaching out to friends. It's reaching out to trusted sources. It's reaching out to people that are going to understand, and inviting them into your own practice. I'm hearing that this can be something as directly spiritual as, hey, I want to do a release ceremony or a burning ceremony tonight. Do you want to join me? Come on over, we'll have some dinner, and then, we'll do a burning ceremony together. And you call on a friend or a couple of friends to do that. It doesn't have to necessarily be that on the nose spiritually. It can be, I haven't been to a movie in forever, and I would love to be able to sort of, I want to go see this movie, but I also want to be able to pick your brain. I got some ideas going on. Why don't we get together for dinner first and then go to the movie, and I can pick your brain there, and then we can have some fun time. So I feel like for you, it's collaboration. It's inviting people into the world that is up here in your mind. It's all of my thoughts. What am I thinking? What am I processing? What am I going through? I feel like you're very much doing that. So there's a lot of mental energy that's going out. This Three of Coins is saying, okay, collaborate, because other people may have some kind of guidance or suggestion around how you can manifest what it is that's in your head, so that it's not getting stuck and not getting caught. How can I open more fully to receiving? Intuition. So it's really stepping into your intuition, letting the intuition steer the ship. It's letting the intuition run the show. What would your life look like if you made no decisions at all unless it came through on an intuitive level? What would that look like? Some of us who are listening to this right now might have a real rock in their gut right now, like, oh my God, I don't even know what that would look like. Some of us might be going, oh my God, well, I know when I do listen to my intuition, things work out really well. So yeah, that would be amazing. And some of you are like, well, I'm not totally sure if I'm really listening to my intuition or if I'm listening to my ego voice, right? So figuring out sort of where you're at, you want to apply this. How would my life change? What would my life look like just in this week? We don't even have to go, my whole life. We're talking about life in this week. What would my life look like if I tuned in intuitively and only answered the call of my intuition on all decisions? In fact, I encourage you to give it a shot. See what it's like. Maybe you don't want to do a full week. Maybe just try one day and see what happens in that one day. But be intentional about every choice, every decision that I am going to make tonight or today is connected to that intuition. And just notice what you notice. See the magic that comes through in your world. Very, very exciting. And of course, that's going to help you to receive, because you're just fully stepping into that intuitive space. So thanks so much for asking for a card pull tonight. That was a lot of fun.
All right, we got last card pull, and then we're going to go to some comments in the chat. All right, card pull from Demystify.
Oh,
YouTube. Demystify. There we go. There we go. It's getting late in the night.
All right, so she's just saying pull one. So I'm going to pull one card. Keone, you tell me, Oracle or Tarot?
Ooh, let's do Tarot.
All right, Tarot. And Demystify, I'm going to do how can you open more fully to receiving today? Because I feel like that's the one that, I don't want to say you're struggling with, but I feel like that's the one that you are holding back a little bit on, that you're kind of going, oh, I'd love to be able to receive this and this, but I just received blah, blah, blah the other day. And so, do I really need more? Yes, you do. So the card that we pulled for you, how can I open more fully to receiving? Three of Cups. So we just had Three of Coins. I think that was Karen. Now we've got the Three of Cups showing up, and Three of Cups also is collaboration, but it's collaboration. It's celebration. It's connecting with community, connecting with friends, having fun, sharing, being there for one another. And it's not, I want to say, not for any other extreme purposes other than to be in each other's company. And if some level of collaboration happens as a result of you getting together and sort of celebrating yourselves and being in each other's energy, then so be it. So when we're talking about how can you open more fully to receiving, it's calling up your friends and saying, oh my God, let's just go out and have some fun. And you will receive a boost of energy. You will receive so much, I want to say, love frequency, that your love cup will be full and overflowing. So no matter what comes through for you this week, and I feel you're going to have some issues around communication at work, no matter what you're dealing with, whatever you're concerned about, this is going to fill your love cup. And again, it doesn't have to be for any other purpose other than to just be in each other's energy. Pick a couple people that you absolutely adore, that you know that when you are with them, there's just laughter. There's There's horseplay and hilarity, right? Step into that space. Also, 3 is a card, the number, the 3 is all about creation. And how can you be open to receiving? How can you create anything if you can't receive anything? Right? The 2 kind of go hand in hand. So I feel like for you, it's understanding that in order for me to move forward in my creative flow, I have to kind of go out and have a little bit of fun. I have to reinsert myself into the world. And through that process, I receive love frequency. I receive a love boost. That's what's going to work for you. Thank you so much. Do you Dropify or drop it? Yeah. Dropsify.
Probably would have got that correct if I didn't butcher it earlier.
It's all good. Please forgive us. I think the name is super cool. I also love that they're mermaids.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really important too. Bring on your inner mermaid this week as well. And I feel like what that means is being playful with your emotions, not diving so deep that you're getting stuck or getting lost. It's being playful with your emotions, because water is the realm of emotion. So hopefully that makes some sense.
Awesome. She says, thank you. Jocelyn and Selena, sorry we didn't get to you today. Remind me next week and I'll put you at the front of the list. Just a couple comments for today. Ward said, just a friendly Taurus watching from Belgium. So thank you for watching.
Oh, I love it. Hi, Ward.
Belgium. And then Terry says, hello from Texas. So she joined us from Texas again.
Hi, Terry.
Today.
Getting
and
love
always,
from Texas.
What'd you say?
Getting love from Texas.
That's right. Karen S. said, it would be a novel. Would love to trust intuition more. Yikes. And of course, your biggest fan, well, one of your biggest fans, I don't want to insult anybody. Much love, Queen of Earth, Stacy.
Hey, Jose. Thanks for tuning in. Sending love back to you.
All right. Those are our comments. Great show today, Stacy.
Yeah, lots of fun. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Just want to say that, you know, I'm pulling these cards and giving everyone this sort of general guidance. If you're running into some situations in your life where you're getting the general guidance, but you want to go a little bit deeper, you're feeling a little stuck, you're feeling like, I don't really know, like, I feel like I'm on the precipice of something, but I don't really know what to do next. I'm just feeling kind of held back. The best way to get, I want to say, clear guidance with all of that is through a session. And I would love to connect with you guys. I know I've been talking a lot about my membership and all the other different services that I offer, but I also love doing one-on-one sessions with people, because that's where we really get to the heart of the matter. We can dive right on in and say, okay, you're running into this problem. Let me just pluck out the situation and say, okay, let's look at it. And here's what you want to do to be able to shift it or work with it or to just acknowledge it and become aware. So I do have spots available. I offer 30 and 60-minute sessions, the profound 60, the essential 30 minutes. Would love to be able to connect with all of you on a one-on-one basis. Everything is virtual, so we can do it through Zoom, FaceTime, Facebook Messenger if you want. Also, you know, we can do things over the phone, whatever works, whatever floats your boat, I like to say. So sending everyone so much love. Would love to stay connected in whatever way works for you. And I hope you all have an amazing, amazing week. See you next time.